The official split of the Church into Orthodox and Catholic occurred in 1054 and went down in history under the name of the Great Schism. 100 years earlier, however, there had been conflicts between the Western and Eastern churches for various reasons, both dogmatic and purely ceremonial. For example, there was a funny argument about what kind of bread there was during communion. In general, it can be said that in fact between Rome and Constantinople there was simply a struggle for influence in the regions, in particular in the Balkans. Each side wanted to expand its own reach. One of the most important reasons for dividing the church was the dispute about the Trinity. So the Orthodox speak of the Holy Spirit coming only from the God of the Father, and the Catholics add that it comes from the God of the Son. Such minor disagreements were the reason for centuries of dispute, which led to the split of the church. Purgatory is a Catholic thing. Purgatory implies that a person does not immediately go to hell for sins, but has a chance to be cleansed after death, and having gone through purgatory has a chance to go to heaven. Purgatory is, in fact, a temporary stage between heaven and hell. The Orthodox deny the existence of purgatory. The personality of the Virgin Mary in different faiths also perceived differently. In the Catholic version of the Virgin Mary is more attributed to her absence of original sin and immaculate conception. It is not to be confused with the Immaculate Conception of Jesus Christ, and it is also believed that she was raised to heaven after death. The Orthodox Church treats her more simply and regards her as human. As many know about Orthodox, there is no analog. The title of Pope is that there is no actual vicegerent God on earth and the actual head of the Church. The title of Patriarch is much less significant than the title of Pope. Moreover, there are many Orthodox patriarchs, and the Pope is one. The Pope is generally considered infallible, and he cannot even be mistaken either. The Orthodox do not have such a rigid centralization of power. In other words, to be Orthodox is simply to be faithful to the faith. There are many Orthodox churches in the world, whether Russian, Serbian, or Georgian, but the Catholic Church are under the de facto control of the Pope and only. There are many differences in rites and traditions, but it should be noted that these differences cannot be considered in all cases, as there are churches with dogmatic one side rites the other. For example, Greek Catholics use Orthodox rites but obey the Pope, and dogmatically are Catholics. In our issue, we will talk about the most common cases of the Orthodox baptized from right to left, and the Catholics, on the contrary, from left to right. Baptism is also performed by 3 fingers in Orthodoxy, and Catholics are baptized with 2 fingers or palm. Although it is not as fundamental for Catholics as for Orthodox, Orthodox priests should wear beards. Catholics, on the contrary, walk without beards. The same difference between priests of different faiths. It's that Catholic priests are obliged to take vows of celibacy, while Orthodox Christians can have families, and by the way, Orthodox can divorce, but with Catholics it is strictly prohibited. As many have noticed, Orthodoxy and Catholicism crosses and crucifixes are different. In Catholicism, a 4-sided cross is confessed. It's also different for Catholics, as we know from many films, because it happens in private behind a wooden screen. In general, Catholics have a separate place for this. Orthodox Christians do confession simply in the middle of the temple. Easter Catholic and Orthodox occur on different days due to the fact that Catholics use the Gregorian calendar, which is now used by most countries, but Orthodox Christians use the Gregorian calendar to count Easter. I gave the most common and understandable differences, in fact a great many. Some are purely dogmatic and extremely subtle to understand. And what differences do you know? Write in the comments below this video. And on this all, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel not to miss new videos. Like to share this video on social networks. Bye.